The message is aimed at organizations, primarily the catering sector, restaurants, cafes, bars, but we also note that other organizations such as gymnasiums are also required to keep logs of those individuals that visit their premises. So it's also aimed at providing some guidance to them as well.
Well, we've seen some establishments who keep the data on slips of paper, but we've also seen others who keep physical books and even data digitally. So how does the consumer know that this data is being destroyed, and what rights do they have?
Organizations need to comply with the law, and the law requires organizations to delete their information when it's no longer required. So individuals have rights in that regard. In relation to the use of open books and registers, those are the type of instances that the GRA has become aware of, and it's one of the reasons why we have provided. We've issued this press release with some recommendations and guidance for organizations. In many cases, we have noticed some good practices locally, but at the same time we have noticed this instances. We appreciate that organizations obviously are focusing on making sure that the businesses continue to operate in these difficult times, and obviously there's a focus on the fight against COVID-19, but at the same time we need to remind organizations that they have data protection obligations, and there's no reason why these obligations cannot be complied with.
As part of those obligations as well, the actual data that they take from you?
Yes, well, one of the requirements in the law is to obviously collect as little data as possible to actually meet the overarching objective. But the details that are being collected by organizations are as prescribed in the law, and in the context of contact tracing, collecting the names of individuals and, for example, their telephone number is in accordance with those legal requirements.
How has all this affected your workload at the GRA?
It's a difficult question. You would think that in some cases the workload may have could have slowed down because there may have been a slowdown in activity, but that's not been the case. Far from it. The workload has remained high, and we've actually had to focus on issues relating to contact tracing and so on, and it's involved a lot of engagement at international level as well, to make sure that regulators internationally send out a coordinated and consistent message. So in that regard, we have been working with our other regulators, and we continue to do so.